Okay, yeah. So can I just ask you this question? Try to ask you this question. When I investigate that about time, that's a pointer you've given, and I've heard it. You know, there's no past if you don't think about it, and that's when I really go into that. It's almost it's scary somehow. You know, I almost get a shock because it's just like, "Grang, there is nothing just behind this wall. There's just nothing. It's just like a cliff, falling down a cliff or something. There's nothing, and there's nothing in the future."
Yeah. But that's the problem. We say nothing, and nothing means we think it's a vacuum or a void, zero. But
Yeah.
it's really no thing.
Oh yeah.
You and I are things. Room you're sitting on in the room, in the chair, they're all things. All things are the content of space. Now, can you find a centre to space? Can you find a circumference to it? Can you postulate and think of anything that could be outside of space? What would it be in? So the space is empty, no thing, but all this manifestation, you, me, the stars, the planets, the earth, everything are things. Can something come from nothing?
No.
So it's all no thing. I mean, it hasn't got a pattern, shape or form. It just is. Just is that one essence, the absolute, which pattern, it vibrates and pattern shapes and forms appear in it. That's what I call it intelligence energy. Not your intellects, but the same intelligence that's rolling the earth around the sun, causing the seasons to come and go, the tides to come in and out, and functioning, everything is happening in that no thing. And it's not, something cannot come from, it's all a vibration. It's got no substance or no independent nation there. We'll try and illustrate it this way. So you've got a big jar and it's full of vegetables or something like that. Tip them all out. What's there? The jar is empty, isn't it?
Mm.
Now, but there's still the jar there.
Yeah.
But the jar is seemingly there, but it's all the content has gone out of it, but it's still existing. Not in the shape of form, but it's pure existence. And this space is the absolute. Everything is the content of space. And the things that fill it and form it, like the stuff, the things that fill a jar or any other they're only pattern shapes or forms. And vibrating pattern shapes and forms. And they are no thing, really, just a movement of energy. Now, as I say, it's all intelligence, the wondrous ways, it's all pattern shapes and forms. You know, the stars, the planets, the birds, the insects, these human forms, implies it's suffused with a wondrous intelligence, doesn't it? To form a human body, for instance, with the brain, the heart, the lungs, all the organs in it, and the blood and the bacteria and microbes and everything else, implies it's a wondrous intelligence suffusing it all. Now, intelligence is knowing. Another word for it is knowing. And knowing, and you're knowing you are right now, isn't that a fact? And you're knowing the hearing, this, that, and other noises and sights and things that are going, all in that knowing. Knowing, the ing on it, is an activity. It's a movement. Any activity is a movement of energy, a vibration. So that's where I get the term intelligence energy. Now we put words or labels on all its manifestation. When it's just vibrating in pure pattern, shape and form without the word on it, it's just as it is. And you can look into that right now. You're seeing right now, aren't you? Now look around the room without putting any labels on the things in the room. You're seeing it all?
Yeah.
What can you say about it without putting any label?
Nothing.
No, but it's there. It's not an homogeneous blob. It's still separate. And there's a knowing, without thinking about it, that, it's not one blob. There's chairs, tables, pictures on the wall, and all these different things appearing in it. But they're not the actuality. And you know that without putting any labels on it. But to describe them or tell something or even to remind yourself, you put the words on. It's the same with this body-mind, this pattern that you think you are. How would you tell somebody who you are?
Yes. I would use words.
Yes. And you would say, I am Lottie.
Yeah, yeah.
I am Lise. Yeah. So you put that label on. Instead of saying, I am the absolute, I am total. You can't go around saying you're the absolute because people will think you're a nutcase. But you're not separate. There's nothing separate in the world. All this manifestation is the content of space. You can't think of it. Now, space has no centre to it and no circumference. It has no beginning and no end. It's not bound by time. I suppose, they say it begins, scientists say it begins with the Big Bang or something like that, millions of years ago. But it hasn't got any meaning because it's all spontaneous. It's all happening right now, beginningless and endless. That's why in Buddhism they call it a cognizing emptiness. An emptiness has the capacity of knowing or cognizing. We think we cognize the emptiness, but we don't. It's that intelligence energy, that awareness, if you like to call it that, or if you like to use the term, you can call it godliness. It's patterning, shaping and forming this manifestation. And we're told that emptiness is form. It's all appearing in that pure emptiness. And he made the statement then that emptiness is form, but the form can be nothing other than the emptiness. So it's all the one thing. Now all these things are in the room are that emptiness itself, because we put words on or labels. It tells you in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, the Word was God. And that's all there is. All God is a word. Because it says all things were made by him, by the Word. And there was nothing made that was made without the Word, isn't that so? We put words on everything. We put words on ourselves. So without the Word, it all is in its absoluteness. But it's not much good to us because we've got this capacity of reasoning which is developed in us. How many words were you born with? And see, that's the fact. Mm-hmm. You can't remember your birth purely and simply because you didn't have any words. How could you say you were born? And you didn't pick up words till about 2 and a half. And your parents started fussing around you, started teaching you words. Then you went to school and learnt more words. But the word's not the real, it's not the thing. Take the word water. Can you drink that? Word fire burn your mouth? Can you cook with it? Can you heat yourself with it? No. So go through all the words and see that the word's not the thing. But we believe it to be the thing. No. And all these words have been picked up along the way. Because you didn't, as I say, you didn't have any words when you were born, and you didn't pick up words till you're about 2.5. So you are prior to mind. That's all mind is words, concepts, ideas. So you're before the mind. Like how can you say I am this mind? Or this mind is me? And you didn't, the capacity of reasoning came upon you when you're about 2.5. A useful capacity, but being a vibration of energy, it vibrates into the opposites. Vibrating into the opposites, it causes all sorts of psychological problems. Only me can be unhappy. Only me can be fearful. Only me can be jealous or envious, angry. Me is the cause of all the psychological stuff. Words. And the word is not the thing. So what's this word? Human being or person. That's what the word person comes from. The ancient Latin language picked up by people before us and changed it as the functioning goes on and constantly transients, constantly changing. The word person, instead of being coming from the word mask, the Latin word mask, meaning we had this conceptual image, a mask over our true nature, a conceptual image. And we believe we are this person, this mask, we're not. And that conceptual image, made up of words, stops us from seeing our true nature. So we get stuck in it. Now, what you are, in Hinduism, they call it Advaita. What we're looking into is Advaita. Vaita means non-duality. They try to describe non-duality by saying one without a second. It's not two. It's just the one, expressing in the opposites. So that's what we look for, just to recognise that is only the one. You call yourself a human being. Take away that label human, take away the label supreme. You call God the supreme being. Take away the label human, take away the label supreme being. Try and separate your beingness as you're sitting there right now. Can you say I am not? So if you're not, you must be. So you are that pure being, but then you've got the label on. Lise done this and this is happening, and I've got all these ideas and think it should become. So we obscure our true nature by all the words, concepts and ideas. It doesn't mean to say you won't, words have got a useful purpose. They can be used, but the way we've used them, we've divided them into, that's the way the mind functions, and that's the way it vibrates. But instead of saying it's vibrating from from one end to the other, we think that it's opposite. Look at the way the mind functions. As Shakespeare told you 400 or 500 years ago, he says there's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Now see the way you think. You're either in the past, which is memory, or the future, which is anticipation and imagination. Within that range, it's either pleasant, painful, happy, sad, loving, hating, positive, negative. What's the way you think? And see, it was always interrelated opposites. So those opposites are interrelated. They're the one, two ends, and the one stick. Like a coin's got two sides to it, so a stick's got two ends to it. But we've separated them and divided them. divided that which is indivisible and separated that which is inseparable. And taking the idea that we are this person, this individual, well, that's where all the fear, anxiety, stress, guilt, and shame and remorse comes about. Because we know something's going on out there when you're a little child and you first learn words. Your parents told you, you are Lise, and you learnt the words I and me, and you said, I am Lise, and I'm a good girl, or I'm a bad girl, or whatever it was, and took on all the concepts from there, all added to this I am. And that's Architect tells us to stay with the I amness. And we think, most of us think, you've got to stay with that thought I am. He's not saying that at all, because I amness is just the sense of presence. Stay with the I amness, the sense of presence. And that primary thought is that sense of presence that expresses itself as that thought I am. And then we put all the concepts on it. But again, going back to the Advaita, the 5 factors of Advaita Hinduism is Sat, Chit, Ananda, Nama, Rupa. Sat is existence. Chit is consciousness. Ananda is loving to be. And the other 2 factors, the Nama, Rupa, name and form, body, mind, they'll tell you they're Maya, illusion. And the body, mind are only illusion. They're patterns which this intelligence, this awareness expresses through to know itself. Now, you're existing right now.
Yeah.
You're conscious. You're not unaware.
No.
Okay. So that's being, knowing, and loving to be.
Yeah.
So you're already that.
Yeah.
But the Nama Rupa of the body is just a vibrating pattern of energy, which is formed, which this intelligence energy of life has formed to express through. If it's absolute, what can it say about anything? Or do anything about anything? Because it'd be interfering, trying to divide itself up as the absolute, if everything is the absolute. So it needs a pattern to express through. So that's what it's done. It's formed all these human forms, all this manifestation. The cosmos, all absolute, but there's myriads and myriads of different pattern shapes and forms, all vibrating patterns of energy. Investigate it. That's what I tell you. Investigate it. The false cannot stand up to investigation. And so the false can't stand up to investigation. And what are you left with? If you see the false is false, you'll know the truth. That's the other scripture saying that know the truth will set you free. And what are you free from? You're free from this belief that you are the human being, the person, the individual. And what's the belief? You're hung up on so many beliefs. But what's the dictionary definition of belief? It's an unquestioned acceptance of something in the absence of reason. Mm-hmm. Acceptance of an alleged fact without positive knowledge or proof. And when you put the beliefs to that test, they'll fall apart. And many of them have fallen apart over the years. You know, if I say, go down to the ocean and get me a bucket of blue water out of the sea, you say, don't be an idiot. You know, the sea's not blue. And you go up in a plane, try and find the blue sky. It's always further out. It's not in the plane. The colours in the rainbow, go up the rainbow, there's no colours in the sky at all. It only appears to be so. Like the sun shining through the mist of rain, and on the backdrop of the sky itself, it'll form colours. I've got a crystal sitting in this window here. It's in the west, and when the sun comes round to the west of an evening, it shines through that crystal and puts all sorts of colours on the wall. I go up and try and grab a colour off the wall, I can't because it's not there. Go back and look at the crystal, there's no colours in that. So they've got all these concepts and ideas, you know, that will be taken to be real, but when you investigate them, they're not. We believed in Santa Claus. It didn't take long to get out of that belief. It was disappointed after a while. We do it, but we still do it for our kids because we know we got pleasure out of it when we were kids. So we do it back. They got to, you know, to believe in it. And even this thing they call God, you can call it God if you like, but as I say, it's intelligence, energy, the activity of knowing it, it's life itself. And that's another scriptural saying, and I say, be still and know that I am God. That sense of presence, that intelligence energy that expresses through the mind as a thought I am, that's the life of you. And that life is the godliness in you, like you use that. That's what Christ told you years ago, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life, talking about this I amness, this sense of presence. People thought he was talking about himself, he wasn't. He was talking about that sense of presence. And he said, I and the Father are one and the same thing. He called it the Father. So they're one and the same thing. But the Father is greater than I. There's that sense of presence, of the knowing that you are, which that thought I comes up on. And the sense of presence or the pure awareness is much greater than any of the thoughts or concepts that appear in it. And you are that. That's the Mahavakya. I am that. Innately, you know that. Because you'll say, that's the chair I'm sitting in. That's the room I'm in. That's the flowers or whatever it is in the room. That's the lights, the thing. Everything is already that. But to discriminate it, these words we've learned, we've added on to them. And take the word to be the real, instead of seeing the very activity of knowing or seeing or being is what you actually are. How does that go?
It's you know, it's so little thing to hold on to. There's nothing to hold on to. It's like turning around. It's like trying to look in my own eyes with these eyes and turn around and look in them, and I can't see them. I know they're there, and I can sort of feel it, or just
No.
I know I am, and
Yeah.
it's so easy because I already am here. And it's nothing for the mind to grab onto, so it just goes on with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it'll go on, but it'll quieten down after a while, but it'll still go on. So, as I say, you're not the mind. So try to hold on to it, try to grasp it with what you call the mind. Are you the body? Innately, you know you're not the body because you say my body. You say my coat, my hat, my car. You know you're not the home coat, the car, that. Then what's yours? So maybe you're not the body either when you say my body. And when you investigate, you'll see you're not. The same thing with my mind. Show me a thing called mind. But thoughts come up, and we call them mind. You know. But so what is mind? What is thought? Thought is sound, a word, a concept. And what's the concept of a thought? It's a vibration, a movement of energy. Just the same with your body. Your body's made up of elements, earth, fire, water, space. Try and take those elements out of your body and see how long you last. Take the water out of your body and die of thirst. Take the fire, the body temperature, you get hypothermia. Get off the earth if you can, get out of space. So you realise you're not separate at all.
No.
And that's why you can't remember your birth. because you had no words till you were about 2.5. So you were prior to the thought, to the mind, but you were living. So that means that you are the life that's in which this mind and body appearing, that pure intelligence energy, the activity of knowing, the life of you. You are that.
Yes. And something you said the other day, you said, can you separate anything from space? And I took that pointer and just kept going, and I said, can I separate my thoughts from space? And I can't.
No.
I can't. Can I separate this emotion from space? I can't.
No.
Then it's just like there's no thing. There's no thoughts. There are no emotions.
Right. No thing. But they call it nothing. And they make a mistake. When they think it's nothing, they think it's zero or zilch. But it's no thing. And when you realise you're a thing, I'm a thing, the chair behind you is a thing that you're sitting in, the room you're in is a thing, the trees, the flowers, every manifestation are all things, which we've discriminated again by putting words on them and named them. Without the labels, they're just pure things. No thing. And space itself hasn't got a centre to it, hasn't got a circumference, no boundaries to it. You can't find a centre, you can't find it into the space or outside. But so can something come from no thing?
No.
So it's all no thing appearing in that space like awareness, seemingly like a mirage, or a dream.
So all the things aren't really things, there are really no things too.
That's right.
It's all no things. Like in a mirror, like you said,
So well, where does it leave it all? One essence, patterning, shaping, forming, and experience and expressing as everything. All expressions of that one intelligence entity, that one essence. Life. It's life itself. And that's what Christ told you. I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life.
Yes.
There's only life. As Nisargadatta says, there's nobody who lives the life. No body, no mind. Because they're shapes and forms that are appearing. They're not the life itself.
No.
And the life is that pure intelligence energy, it's vibrating expression. The activity of knowing, the being. And that is what you are, the absolute. Absolutely nothing. You can't add anything to the absolute. You can't take anything away from it. If you could, it wouldn't be absolute.
When I woke up this morning, I had just had a dream, and then I just woke up and I thought I could sort of see that I can choose. The night dream was a dream, but whatever is going to happen today is a dream too. And that was in that moment I could see that both. It's just thought, and I can't separate any from the space. I can't separate a dream from space, but I can't separate whatever is I'm experiencing in this real life. I can't separate that from space either. I could just see that in a moment, but so sometimes I see this somehow, and then I can say, but I'm still suffering. I'm still struggling and mucking around and having a lot of shit in my, a lot of anxiety coming up and a lot of stresses about the body. I think I have health anxiety or all sorts of shit coming up in the mind.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at that.
Yeah. I just got so give me one moment. It's just because the dog is dreaming. The dog is doing like this because he's having a dream and he's running in the dream. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
When you dream a dream at night, you can be in the hills, mountains, cities, shopping malls, anywhere at all, up in the plain. All sorts of activities have been going on. anything can happen in a dream, can't it? It can be a nightmare and horrible. When you wake up, where does it all go?
I don't know.
You might remember parts of it, but that won't be there long. But to see, it all goes away, and when you look into it and you realise your body hadn't moved off the bed, and no words had come out of your mouth. It's just a dream. You don't realise, as you say, that you wake up, and this is a waking dream. The difference between this dream and the dream you dream at night is all those, when you wake up, all those hills and mountains and everything disappear. It's all finished. And you go back this weekend, and that was the end of it. And that began at and ended at night. It didn't take much time either in that dream. But this dream seemingly continues every morning from where it left off the night before. When you wake up, it starts all over again. So the trees, the hills, the mountains, and the bed and the room and all are still there. Keynes continues on, as Nisargadatta says, you are dreaming a dream you call the world. So you got it right on when you realise and recognise it's a dream. And you mightn't quite believe it at the moment, but you'll have taste of it and keep going back and recognising it more and more until you'll be absolutely certain. He says, realise you're dreaming a dream you call the world, Nisargadatta says, and stop looking for ways out. He says, the dream is not your concern. Your concern is you love one part of the dream and not the other. He says either love all of it or none of it. And the rest will be taken for you. Be taken care of, doing what you need to do. And it does. You know, when you go in this waking state of the mind, you do all the things and you think you're doing it. But you, the person, has never ever done anything. That's the problem. We believe ourselves. Just the same, you go outside on a cloudy day, would you say the sun is not in the sky?
No.
I use this analogy to point out it's the same as what's going on in our mind. So you wouldn't say the sun is not in the sky, because you know it is, it's clouded over. Then you would ask, what forms the cloud? When you investigate that, you realise the sun itself forms the cloud. Now, the sun doesn't know anything about the cloud. The vastness of the cloud is so great. There will be parts of this earth, there is parts where the sun is not shining, it's dark, you know. So it doesn't know anything about the clouds. But what it does in its radiance, it evaporates water. The water rises and it cools down and condenses and forms a cloud. And the sun will keep radiating and it cause a wind to stir or walk on, and it'll bring the cloud down as rain or blow it away. Now when the cloud is blown away, it'll come down as rain, or that rain will eventually go into the ocean, and then the cycle will repeat itself, you know. But you'll never get the same drop of water back. So this reincarnation is a lot of crap too. You know, there's that thing. It's ever fresh and new. It's forming new patterns, shapes and forms all the time. So, as I say, the radiance of the sun shining, when the sun is shining and there's no clouds there, there's more clarity. You see, look at the blue, clear sky, there's more clarity there, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And in that clarity, there can be warmth, affection, and all the rest of it. The same thing here. What's obscuring it for us? Same actuality taking place is we've got these words or concepts which are like clouds, which are blocking the life energy, seemingly not blocking it, but seemingly obscuring it. So they're so thick, the thoughts are so thick. And when you start letting the thoughts be, don't fixate on them and go into them, there's going to be more clarity there. In that clarity, there can be more compassion, a sense of well-being, a sense of joyness, and all the rest of it, you know, and the warmth, the affection, and you build life, you know. There's nothing wrong anymore. We haven't really. So we've got these concepts and believe in them and think how that works. And if something comes up and everything is transient, you know that it's constantly changing. You haven't got the same thought you had 5 minutes ago. It's transient, it's changing. And it's changing right now, thoughts. Not one cell, but thousands of cells are dying right now and being replaced. And each of those cells is suffused with that intelligence energy. And they know what to do. A skin cell is not going to become a liver cell. A heart cell is not going to become a brain cell. A brain cell's not going to become a, what other cell? Head, you know, thing. So all these cells are suffused with intelligence energy. So they know what to do. But as I say, that's why you can't remember your birth, because you hadn't learned any words to put on them, but the cells were still doing their job. How did you come up? Well, go back and look at your father and your mother. Animating life essence, the pattern you called your father, enabled in that pattern through the food he's eating and the prana, the air he's breathing, a little microscopic particle called a sperm to form in that pattern. You can't see it with your naked eye, but that sperm was suffused with intelligence. It knew what to do. The same thing in your mother, that animating life essence in your mother, through the breath again and the food and everything you eat, enabled in that pattern a little microscopic particle called an egg or an ovum to form. Now that ovum was suffused with intelligence energy. It knew what to do. It attached itself to the wall of the uterus. And the sperm, knowing what to do, swam to the ovum and penetrated the ovum. And the life essence in those two coming together, and the genes that are in the body and other things, started to form the little embryo, the little fetus, which is what you are today. What were you doing about it then? What have you ever done about it? We've taken on with the belief that these persons, these body minds, and we think we're doing it, we're getting ourselves into trouble. But see how it functions. Something comes up and you like it. How do you know? Well, I've experienced this before. It's good and I want the good things. I don't want all the loved ones and relatives and things like that. I love them all. I want it all to stay safe and you know, not realising it's all transient. It's all going to change. So it's transient, it changes it. We don't want it to change. So what do? We resist it from going. We try to keep it there. Got to hang on to it. I don't want to lose this. I don't want these people to die. I don't want to be happy. So we fight against it and resist it. And resistance is conflict. You're in conflict with it, war with it. And conflict is uneasy. It causes the anger, the fear, the depression, the jealousy, the envy. All your psychological suffering comes about it. And that's disease, uneasiness. It makes you uneasy, all that thing. Another word for uneasiness is disease. So there's resistance, conflict, and disease going on. I don't want to look at it the other way. Something comes up and I don't like it. Oh, I shouldn't think that. That makes me a bad person. I shouldn't have that thought. I don't want it. I don't like it. So I shouldn't. What do? We resist it again. This time we try to get rid of it. First one we try to keep, this one we're trying to get rid of. So we fight with it in conflict. And that conflict again makes us uneasy and unhappy. And all these psychological sufferings come up. Resistance, conflict, and disease. That's what our life is made up of, these human beings.
Yeah.
It goes on all the time, so we miss out of the essence that's all appearing in. Now, all that psychological fear that comes up, the fear, the anger, the depression, the guilt, the shame, remorse, is all psychological. Me is the cause of that psychological suffering. And the effects are the anger, the fear, the depression, the guilt, the shame, remorse. That's cause and effect. And all cause and effect is what they call so-called karma. And you've got this so-called karmic cloak that you've got to watch out for, and a lot of rubbish. There's such thing. Because if you ask yourself the simple question, can there be an effect if I'm not relating to the cause? I'm not relating to these thoughts, this fear, this anger, which is causing all the problems. I'm not relating to them. Can they be there? They can't. So all our problems are problems of relationship. That's duality. Me and the other, not two. Relative to. So when you're in a relationship, it's duality. And what you are is the absolute. You're going to cling to duality. You're going to investigate it more and see the falseness of it and let it go. Leave it as it is and see the change that comes about.
So what investigation here? Which investigation would be the better?
Well, ask yourself, who is it happening to? And who is it happening to? Me, isn't it? What about happening to me? And then you'll say, wait a minute, that fellow said there's no me. Is he right? Or is he lying? He might tell me crap. I'll have another look and say, we'll have a look. Who's me or what is me? A thought, a concept that translates as the thought I am. I am as a thought, a concept. It's not what you actually are. They call it non-conceptual awareness. In one sentence, the Buddhists would call it non-conceptual awareness. The great perfection. You can't add anything to the perfect, can't take anything away from it, just like the absolute. Two words meaning the same thing. So we've dropped the concepts about it all, leave it as it is. And what is means unaltered, unmodified, uncorrected. What is not was or not will be. It is the actuality that's going on right now. The seeing, the hearing, the tasting, the touching, the smelling, the thinking, the feeling, the experiencing. The ing on it, it's the ing, is the actuality. What's your next thought going to be?
I don't know.
You don't know, there you are. But a thought will come up. And you'll say, I think. I am thinking this thought. The so-called subject, conceptual image, believes that it's thinking the thought. So you form the subject, the thinker, when you say, I think. And the subject is what you call yourself, Lise, the person, the believing person. And the thoughts become the object, thinking this thought. So you've split the thinking into subject-object, dualism. And that's what happens. The same with the feeling. But ask yourself that the thinking is thought. But can there be a thinker, a subject, without thinking? No, it can't be. And can there be the object, the thought, without thinking? No, they can't. So thinking, feeling, seeing, tasting, touching, hearing are two ends of the one stick. They're not divided into me and the other. The thinking is going on right now. And the experiencing is going on right now. You'll say, I experience, you've divided. I think, you've divided. And that's got this conceptual image going up in, and the psychological problems of people about that. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this or doing that. You see, it's a spontaneous, natural function that's going on. Look out there in nature, the earth is rolling, but it's the same intelligence energy that's functioning in this universe. Look out there in nature, you see this earth's rolling around the sun right now. Here in Australia, it's dark. It's moved around. This part is facing away from the sun. The earth's rolling around and facing away, so it's dark on this side. It'll keep rolling around, and then it'll face the sun again, it'll become daylight. So does the earth know anything about darkness or light? It doesn't. All there is, darkness is the absence of light, because it's not facing the earth. All that light is the absence of darkness. So the two ends of the one stick, is the same thing, different aspects. It's all the same. Everything is all. Go on.
It just seems like that in this moment there's somebody here trying to get something, trying to understand, there's someone struggling to get something.
Yes.
It seems to be.
You're trying to grasp it with a concept.
Yeah.
See, it's the me, the conceptual image, is trying to grasp it with a thought or a concept.
Yeah.
That's what Sargadatta tells you. He says we try to grasp it with a concept, and he says we fail.
Yeah.
And he says you're bound to fail, because what we're talking about is non-conceptual awareness. You're not unaware right now, so you must be aware, and you know that, don't you? You know what the awareness is. You can't tell me. You can't put a label on it, but you can't say I am unaware.
No. That's right.
And that's where you need to stay and recognise that you're never away from it. And they tell you that in the scriptures too. When we try to grasp it with the concept, with the mind, they tell you you'll never get peace of mind.
Mm.
Never. Because I tell you that, they point it out this way. They say the peace is when the mind is not. And they call that the peace that passeth all understanding. They put that all understanding because to grasp it with the mind, you have to try to understand it with the mind. But you don't need the mind to understand, because when the mind's in abeyance, and that peace is there. It's already there, that's peace. That past the understanding, it's a head or away from the thinking. That peace, the ease of being, knowing and loving to be. It's that Chittadanda. It's another way of putting it. Being. You're being right now, and you're knowing that, and you're loving to be. And another way they put it, have an affectionate awareness of being. That loving to be, have an affection, be warm towards yourself. Let that affection or warmth in your body, let it jolt or motivate that. And that'll bring about the change in your thoughts and your feelings and activities too.
I feel that. That's good.
And don't bother looking for it in the mind, because you'll never ever find the answer. The peace is when the mind is not. Now thoughts will still come up, but they'll get less and less the more you focus into the reality and understand it. And you find that the thoughts will arise as they're arising right now and bring answers to you, bring what to do next. Does it resonate with you?
Yes. And right now there are no thoughts really.
Good.
Right now, it's just,
You're on the right track. Know that, and don't, if you seemingly lose sight of it, don't say, oh, I've lost it. You can't lose it. When you say, I lost it, and beat yourself up, really realise, like the sun the Earth will go around the sun and make it daylight. Well, those thoughts will come back again. If you lose the thought, seemingly lost it, look, instead of being it gone and fixating on it or trying to keep it there, leave it. It naturally comes back again. Because the two ends of the one stick.
And that there's just one thing I would like to ask you, one more thing, and that is some thoughts are very very strong. Some are pulling me. Some think so. If I have symptoms from the body, that is just, it's so strong. So my mind, the thoughts go to that and go in panic. The thoughts go in panic mode somehow. And it could be because there are some stuff that has been some history from the body that was very frightening. I still get frightened about that, and it's like the mind has got a grip on me. It knows that if I go, it's sort of, no, I don't know how to say it. It feels like my mind is just messing around with me, really.
Yeah. Realise, let's just say that's the wrong idea we get. Think it's a strong one. But thought has got no power whatsoever. It's got no power. It's only the habit pattern. We've reinforced them day in, day out, and reinforced them. They seem to be strong, seem to have power. But a thought has got no power whatsoever. It's just a vibration of energy. There's no substance or any independent nature. So look at it when it comes up and realise that. So, when it comes up and think it's strong, just tell yourself, see, this, what power has this got? What power has the thought got?
Good one.
Habit. We formed the habit. And habits can be broken, recognise that. We've reinforced it day in, day out from the time we learnt words, and the parents told you, and you learnt that word, I am, and instead of saying I am the absolute, I am the person, and you went to school and the teachers there reinforced it again. And every day somebody around you has reinforced it, and you've been reinforcing it yourself. Now you start to question it and look at it, and you start to believe, well, it's a strong one, that's what I've got to try. But just relax into it. Leave it as it is. Say, tell yourself, I know that you haven't got any power whatsoever. You're just a vibration, a movement of energy. Just relax into it and lose its hold on
you. Thank you very much.
And it'll change you, bring about the changes that are necessary. And realise this also, that now you've had the taste of it and looked into it, what brought you to looking into it, something innately told you that things weren't good enough when you're into the ordinary religions and all the rest of it. Made you look a little bit further. So it's got hold of you. It's taken you. Brought you to look into it. Got your head and look at this sort of stuff. Well, you'll go into it, and follow it. And it'll take you where it's going to take you. And realise that. Just give yourself a little smile, a little wink, and say, I know you're there. It's in your hands right now. That innate intelligence, that's the life essence of me. Because that's what you are. You're not the body. You're not the mind. You are the life. Take the life out of that body, it's the corpse. That corpse has got, before it rots, has got eyes, ears, heart, lung, kidney, brain, all the organs are there. But they're not even good to it because the life essence is not there, that's anyway. Just like your computer, it's got all that information in it. What good is it to you if the power's not turned on?
That's right.
Nothing at all. No good at all. So you must realise the same way in this. If that information's there and it can't be used because the power's not turned on, what information could I have if it wasn't for this life? Of course, nothing. So, as Christ says, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Know that. I'm not the person, I am the truth, I am the life. Tell yourself that, remind you. Keep reminding yourself of this. And the more it remind yourself and recognise it, the more real it will become to you, because we break out of the old habits. Now people can drag you back into it because they're all coming from it, 99.9% of them. And they drag you back into thinking their way again. But stabilise, stand firm and see, instead of them dragging you back in, you'll drag them out. Because they'll get curious at the change in you. They'll come along and ask you, what have you got, you know? Like somebody did to me when I came back. They said, I like what you're saying, I want what you got.
Yeah.
They started coming. It's grown from there. So it's got you, it'll take you there. Have confidence in that.
Okay.
Don't go back, oh, poor me, I can't do this, or it's not happening. It's not happening. You are absolute. Remind yourself. I am the great perfection.
Yeah. Great.
So,
Thank you.
thank you. It's a two-way street.
What did you say?
I say thank you. It's a two-way street.
No.
It strengthens it in me, but speaking about it. And if you're hearing it, it strengthens in you. And you'll be able to spit it out to somebody. Works both ways. Go on.
Yeah, I'm just really, I'm just happy for all this. I don't know how to put this in words. It's just touching. It's
That's the bliss of being.
Yeah.
The love of life.
Yeah.
You are that love. You are that life.
Mm-hmm.
It's joyous and happy, thought-free, cultivated.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time again. I don't know what time you say, but thank you for this. I know that you say everything you say, but I just got to say thank you. I think it's wonderful what you're doing and just passing it on like this. It's so wonderful. I feel so fortunate to be able to sit here with you and you just passing it on.
It's making you feel so wonderful. When you start doing it, you know you'll make others that are looking for it wonderful. So don't forget it. And have that, realise it'll take place if you stay with it.
Yeah, I will.
So there might be times initially when you'll get caught in the old habit pattern, but the more and more you see through them, know that they'll change, and you'll stabilise more and more, and that get less and less. So those times, the habit patterns will try and hang on for a bit. You don't want to just see through them. Keep plugging away. It's got you. You are the life. Okay. Don't forget to give us a ring if you feel hooked in it or a bit tough again.
Okay, thank you so much. But I'll be there. I'll be there every time I can in the meetings. So I will listen to you still. But thank you for this opportunity also.
As I say, make use of it if you want it again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And have a lovely night.
You too.
Thank you.
It's a day there.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the it's 1 o'clock in the day, in midday now here. Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye and thank you so much. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.